Jack Smith is doing here is he's essentially laying out his trial case, but on paper rather than in a courtroom. Now, the reason he's doing this all stems back to the U.S. Supreme Court's immunity ruling, which came down on July 1st of this year. What Jack Smith is now arguing to the district judge, the trial judge, Judge Chutkan, is all the things that we've alleged against Donald Trump that are in the new indictment, the slimmer indictment that was returned a couple weeks ago. All of these were personal or political acts and not official acts. There's a quote in here from Jack Smith that I think sums up his approach very well. He says, quote, "The through line of Trump's efforts was deceit. The through line of these efforts was not doing his job as president. He was acting deceitfully." So Jack Smith here, this is his brief, and he's saying to Judge Chutkan, all the stuff that's in our new slim down indictment, it's all okay. None of it is entitled to immunity, and we should be able to proceed to trial on it.
How did this motion come about? It's important for folks to understand why it is that Jack Smith was, and he was given a green light by Judge Chutkan to file this and have it be released.
He certainly was. And there are a couple unusual things about the way this happened, Jake. So first of all, ordinarily, when it comes time for motions, the defense goes first. The prosecution puts in its indictment. The defense says, here's what we object to in the indictment, and the prosecution responds. Here, Jack Smith said a few weeks ago, Judge Chutkan, we want to go first. And Judge Chutkan actually said, well, that's quite unusual, but she let them go first. And the effect of that now is we essentially have Jack Smith's case, at least on paper, at least the parts that have not been redacted, 30 some days before the election, whereas we might not otherwise have had it. Now, Donald Trump's team will respond to this. They will say essentially all the stuff that he is accused of doing was all part of his official job, including the Mike Pence conversations. And Jake, I should note, like you, I'm not all the way through this thing, but just to give a taste of what Paula and others are looking at, there is a list of conversations fairly early on in this brief. It's just a bullet point list, a page and more, of conversations that Donald Trump had with Mike Pence. And some of that, I believe, gives us new detail. For example, at one point, Donald Trump tells Mike Pence, according to Jack Smith, to treat it not as a loss, the election, not as a loss, just as an intermission. So we are going to see some more details about those key conversations.